Hey champs of ExamsNet, welcome to the question series of ExamsNet. Students, you must have explored our website www.examsnet.com. This site is a great place for you to practice your entrance exam question papers because here you will find so many entrance exam question papers along with their detailed PDF solutions. And you must download our app. The link is available in the description box for the better preparation of your exams. So today students, we will be solving JEE 2024 6th April shift 1 paper. Okay, so in this particular video I'll be solving the physics part of the paper. So here we go, starting with the very first question of the physics series, that is question number 31. To find the spring constant K of a spring experimentally, a student commits 2% positive error in the measurement of time and 1% negative error in the measurement of mass. The percentage error in determining the value of K is. Okay. So first of all, this question is from the chapter of units and measurement. Okay. Units and measurement. We are given with spring constant K and we have to find the percentage error in the value of K. Okay. Since we know that for a for a simple harmonic motion type question, for example, this is a pendulum, its length is L and it is doing to and fourth motion. For such type of question, the time period T is calculated as T equals to 2 pi under root m over K. Okay, so T square will be directly proportional to m over K, and since we are asked to find the percentage error in K. Okay, so for this we can write 2 delta T over T, percentage error, it will be equals to delta M over M percent minus delta K over K percent. Okay, now simplifying it, we get delta K over K percent. Since we have to find the percentage error in this spring constant K, so it will be equals to delta M over M percent minus 2 delta T over T percent. Okay, now putting the values as given in the questions. So delta K over K percent will be equals to delta M over M. 1% negative error in the measurement of mass. Okay, 1% negative error means minus 1% and minus 2. There is 2% positive error in the measurement of time. 2% positive error means multiply it by 2. So we get minus 1 minus 4. Modulus of this we get minus of 5% means the percentage error in the measurement of spring constant is 5%. Okay. So the correct answer is option D. Now, next question 32. A bullet of mass 50 gram is fired with a speed 100 meter per second on a plywood and emerges with 40 meter per second. The percentage loss of kinetic energy is. Okay. So, this question is from the chapter of work, energy, and power. Work, energy, and power. Okay. So according to question, there is a bullet whose mass is 50 gram. Is the bullet is fired with a speed of 100 meter per second, okay? And its mass is 50 gram. On a plywood, let us say this is a plywood, and emerges with a speed of 40 meter per second. The percentage loss of kinetic energy is. So we know that kinetic energy is half mv square. So initial kinetic energy will be Ki. It is equals to half mv. Initially the velocity is 100 meter per second, means 100 square. And final kinetic energy is half m this v square, 40 whole square. Okay. So it will become percentage loss in the kinetic energy will be equals to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy over initial kinetic energy into 100. Okay, so just put the value. So final kinetic energy is half m 40 square minus initial kinetic energy is half m 100 square over initial kinetic energy half m 100 square into 100. Okay, so now simplifying it we get this 4 4 is 16, half half half, numerator half and denominator half cancels out each other. Here we will get 1600 and m will also cancels out, minus 100 into 100 over 100 into 100, 100 into 100 and into this 100. So this 100 cancels out. So we get 1600 minus this 100 into 100 over 100. So we get 1600 minus 10000 over 100. So simplifying it, taking its mod, we get 84%. Okay, 84%. So our answer is 84%, means option D. Now, next question 33. The ratio of the shortest wavelength of Balmer series to the shortest wavelength of Lyman series for hydrogen atom is. Okay. So, this question is from the chapter of modern physics. Modern physics. Okay. So, as we know, the spectrum is like this. The first one, n equals to 1 is Lyman. Then n equals to 2 is Balmer. N equals to 3 is Paschen. N equals to 4 is bracket. And at last, N equals to 5 is P fun. Okay. So we have to find the shortest wavelength. So student, always remember the formula for calculating the wavelength is 1 over lambda is equals to R Rydberg constant into Z square. And obviously for hydrogen atoms Z is equals to 1 over 1 N1 square minus 1 N2 square. Okay. And always remember, whenever the question is asking about the shortest wavelength, so at that time this n2 value always become infinity. Okay, so we have to find the ratio of the Balmer series to the Lyman series for the shortest wavelength. So for Lyman series we can write 1 over lambda L is equals to RZ square, and for Lyman is series n equals to 1. So 1 over 1 square minus 1 over infinity square means this will become 0. So we get RZ square into 1 over 1. Okay, let us say this is 1. And for Balmer series, we can write 1 over lambda B is equals to RZ square. 1 over for Balmer series n is equals to 2. So 1 over 2 square minus 1 over infinity square, it will become RZ square over 1 over 4. Let us say second. So we have to find the ratio of Balmer to Lyman. Okay, means equation second. Balmer to Lyman na equation. Acha, if we do these are in denominator na. Okay, just do equation 1 over equation 2. Okay, if we do equation 1 over equation 2, so we get lambda B over lambda L is equals to 4 ratio 1. Okay, this is our final answer. 4 ratio 1 means option A is the correct answer. Now, next question 34. To project a body of mass m from Earth's surface to infinity, the required kinetic energy is, assume the radius of Earth is RE, G acceleration due to gravity on surface of the Earth. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of gravitation. Okay, so we know that, let us say this is Earth and we have to project a body of the mass m from the Earth's surface to infinity. Okay, let us say this is infinity. The required kinetic energy. Okay, so we know that for this the kinetic energy half mv square will be equals to this escape velocity gmm over re. Okay, so it will be equals to, and we know that g is equals to what? Gm over re square. Okay, so for this we can write and obviously, and k is equals to mg into re. Okay, so the what kinetic energy it is asking, Nana? The required kinetic energy is mg into re. Okay, means we have put the value of g, this in place of gm over re. We have put this g here, like we can simplify is like this: half mv square, it will be equals to gm means gre square, so in place of gm we can write gre square over re into m. This uh re cancels out, and uh this will become mv square is equals to 2 g into m into re. So this cancels out, so we get v equals to under root of 2g re, not mgre, it will be 2g re. Sorry, it will be 2g re, under root of 2g re. But in the question we are not given under root of 2g re, na? G is gm over re square, so in place of gm we have put half mb square will be equals to gre square over re into m. So this re cancels out, cancels out, or we get v square equals to 2g re. So kinetic energy half mv square, the kinetic energy will be 2. Now, next question is 34. To project a body of mass m from Earth's surface to infinity, the required kinetic energy is. Acha, we have to find the kinetic energy. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of gravitation. So we are given that, let us suppose this is Earth and a body of mass m is projected from surface of the Earth to infinity. Okay, so first of all, the and kinetic energy required, or we can say the energy required, the velocity required to project this body from surface of the Earth to infinity will be equals to the escape velocity. So it will be equals to gmm over re, where re is the radius of the earth. Okay, and we know that the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth, g is equals to g m over re square. Okay, so from here we see that gm equals to g into re square. So just put the value of gm here, so we get this half mv square, means we get kinetic energy is equals to g re square into m over re. So this re cancels one power, so we get kinetic energy is equals to g m re. Okay, so the answer is option B. Now, next question 35. Electromagnetic waves travel in a medium with the speed of this. The relative permeability of the medium is 2.0. The relative permittivity will be. Okay. So, this question is from the chapter of electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic chapter or electromagnetic waves. So we are given with the speed as v is 1.5 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and relative permeability of the medium is given as 2.0. Okay, means we are given mu r is equals to 2, and we have to find the relative permittivity, means we have to find epsilon r. Okay, and since we know a formula that epsilon m into mu m over epsilon naught into mu naught is equals to what? 1 over v square over 1 over c square. We all know this formula. कि epsilon m into mu m is 1 over v square and epsilon naught into mu naught is 1 over c square. Okay, and we also know that epsilon m over epsilon naught is what? Epsilon m over epsilon naught is epsilon r, relative permittivity, and mu m over mu naught is what? Mu r, relative permeability. Okay, so just put epsilon r into mu r is equals to c square over v square. So we are given mu r as 2, it is equals to c square, means 3 into 10 to the power 8 whole square, and velocity is given as 1.5 into 10 to the power 8 whole square. Okay, so just solve it and we will get our desired answer. So epsilon r into 2, it will be equals to 3 3s are 9 into 10 to the power 8 to the 16 over 3 into 10 to the power 16. So this will cancels out, 3 3s are 9. So we get epsilon r is equals to 3 uh 1.5 into 1.5. Okay, sorry, it is 1.5 na 15. So it will be 1.5 into 1.5 by 25 k 2 5 1 is 5 6 7 1 5 is 5 1 1 is 1. It we will get 225 na, it means 2.25 not 3. Sorry, my mistake. It will be 2.25. So solving it we get 9 over 2.25 into 2. Okay, so solving it we get epsilon r uh, will be equals to 4 by 2. So epsilon r will be equals to 2. So the correct answer is option D, 2. Now next question 36. Which of the following phenomena does not explain by wave nature of light? Okay, so this question is from the chapter of wave optics. So we have to find the which does not explain the wave nature. Reflection, it itself explains the wave nature of light. Diffraction also explain wave nature. Okay, photoelectric effect. The photoelectric effect, this explains the particle nature of light. Okay, means whenever the light falls on a surface of metal and the electrons are ejected from it, so it explains the particle nature of that radiation of light having wavelength lambda which is falling on the surface of the metal and ejecting only electrons which we call photoelectrons. Okay, so this resembles the particle nature of light. Interference is itself a wave nature of light. Whenever a light of coherent nature passes through a slit and we get different kinds of wavefronts, and when these wavefronts interfere they form different patterns on the screen which we call interference pattern. So this itself explains the wave nature of light. Polarization itself explains the wave nature of light. Okay, so the correct answer is option C, means option B is the correct answer. Okay, now next question 37. While measuring diameter of wire using screw gauge, the following readings were noted. Main scale reading is 1 mm, circular scale reading is equal to 42 division. Pitch of screw gauge is 1 mm and it has 100 divisions on circular scale. The diameter of the wire is x by 50 mm. So we have to find the value of x. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of units and measurements again. Units and measurements. Okay, so we are given that the main scale reading MSR is given as 1 mm. Okay, main scale reading is given as 1 mm, and CSR, circular scale reading, is given as 42 divisions na, 42, and the pitch is given as 1 mm, pitch is given as 1 mm. Okay, and the pitch and main scale reading are same. Okay, main scale reading is 1 mm, circular scale reading is 42 divisions, and pitch is given is of 1 mm. Okay, so the least count will be least count. The formula for least count is pitch over number of circular scale division. Okay, so it will be pitch is 1, circular scale divisions, number of circular scale divisions had 100. So pitch has a CSD 100 na, so 1 over 100. So it will be equals to 0.01 mm. Okay, And so the diameter will be main scale reading plus least count into CSD. Okay. So it will be equals to main scale reading is 1 mm, least count is 0.01 mm, and CSD is 42. So multiply it with 42. So we get 1.42 mm, and comparing it with that given in the question, x over 50 mm, comparing it with x over 50 mm. So we get the value of x as it will be 100. So it will be 250. 2 sums are 14, 2 ones are 2. So x will be equals to 71. Okay, this is the final answer. So 71, option B is the final answer. Now next question 38. Sigma is the uniform surface charge density of a thin spherical shell of radius r. The electric field at any point on the surface of the spherical shell is. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of electrostatics. Okay, electrostatics. Now we are given that uniform surface charge density of a thin spherical shell. Let us say this is a thin spherical shell, and always remember whenever we are asked in the question a hollow shell, hollow sphere, or we can say hollow sphere, spherical shell, or a conductor. Always remember in these three cases, the electric field inside it always equals to zero. Okay, so we are given sigma as the uniform charge density, and this spherical shell is having a radius r. So the electric field at any point on the surface of this spherical shell. Okay, so we will use inside the electric field is zero, so we have to find on the at any point on the surface. Okay, so let us say this is the Gaussian surface, and let us say this is the small element, and here its area is a, and in this part we have to find the electric field E. So using the Gauss law, that is phi, flux phi is equals to integration of E dot ds, or we can say dA. It is equals to 1 over epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed by the surface. So E dot dA is equals to, and we know that surface charge density sigma is equals to charge over area. So for this, charge will be equals to sigma into area. Area is, let us say, dA here. So in place of Q, we will write sigma dot dA over epsilon naught. Okay. So dA cancels out. So electric field at any point on the surface of this spherical shell is sigma over epsilon naught. So the correct answer is option C, sigma over epsilon naught. Students, if the question is asked about inside the spherical shell, so always remember inside spherical shell, hollow sphere or conductor, the electric field inside is always equals to 0. Okay. Now next question 39. The value of unknown resistance X for which the potential difference between B and D will be 0 in the arrangement shown is. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of current electricity. Okay, so now this is the circuit diagram, and we have to find the potential difference, the value of unknown resistance X. We have to find the value of this unknown resistance X when the potential difference between B and D is 0. Okay, so we can redraw this circuit diagram as, let us say, we can redraw it. This is 24 ohm. This is 12 ohm, 12 ohm. These two 12 ohm, 12 ohm, 12 ohm are in series. Okay. And this, they are in series, so they will make a series combination, means 12 plus 12, it will form 24 ohm. And their equivalent means their 24 ohm and this 24 ohm, these both are in parallel. So for parallel, they will be like 24 into 24 over 24 plus 24. So they will form 24 into 24 over 448 224. So they will be like 24, 2s are 48, and they will form 12 ohm, I think. Yeah, 12 ohm. So this will be of 12 ohm. Okay. And so similarly, this 1 ohm and 1 ohm are in parallel. So for parallel, they will form 1 into 1 over 1 plus 1 means 1 over 2. They will form of 0.5 ohm. Okay. And this is of 0.5 ohm, and this is of will be like this 12 ohm and 12 ohm are in parallel, so they will form 12, 12, 12 into 12 over 12 plus 12, so they will form 12 into 12 over 24, 12 is a 24, 2, 6 are 12, 6 ohm. So they will make 6 ohm, and this is X. So this 6 ohm and this X ohm, now they are in series. So this branch will be like 6 plus X ohm. Okay, so I can redraw it like this. Suppose this is point A, and this will be their equivalent is of 12 ohm. Na? Yeah. So they will be forming like this 12 ohm, then this is point B, and they are forming zero point 0.5 ohm. So it will be 0.5 ohm. And then this is point C. We can say this is point A. Okay. This is point C. And this is 6 plus X ohm. So this will be 6 plus X ohm. And then this is point D. And between point D, this is 0.5 ohm. So it is 0.5 ohm. Okay, this is point D, and there this is 14.5 volt. So according to question, the potential difference between B and D is 0. So this is the case of the Wheatstone bridge, balanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay, this is the case of balanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay. So now for this we can write potential at point A, B, between A, B over potential between A and D must be equal to potential between BC over potential between DC or CD, whatever you write. Okay, so potential between this will be equals to this is 12. Okay, so we can write for resistance also. So this will be 12 over 6 plus x must be equals to 0.5 over 0.5. Okay, so solving it, we get 0.5, 0.5 cancels out each other. So 12 will be equals to 6 plus x. So x will be equals to 12 minus 6, that is 6 ohm. Okay, so the value of x is 6 ohm, means option C is the correct answer. Now next question. The specific heat at constant pressure of a real gas obeying PV square equals to RT equation is. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of kinetic theory of gases. Okay, so for solving such type of question, we will use the law of thermodynamics. Thermo also. So we will use the law of thermodynamics, that is first law of thermodynamics, dq is equals to du plus dw. Okay, so for dq we can write c dt is equals to cv dt plus pdv. Okay, and we are given pv square equals to RT. Okay, at constant pressure means given pressure is constant. So we can write it as P into 2V dV is equals to R dt. So P dV will become R dt over 2V. Okay, so put this in, let us say this is equation number 1. So put it in equation 1 in place of P dV. So we get C dt equals to CV dt plus R dt over 2V. Okay, so dt cancels out. So we get C is equals to CV plus R over 2V. This is a final answer. So from this point of view, option D is the correct answer. Okay. Now the next question is 41. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of units and measurements. Units and measurements. Okay. So the first one is torque. Okay. We all know, students, torque tau is equals to R cross F. So the dimension of torque tau will be R cross F. R means L. F, the dimension of F is M L T minus 2. So this will become M L square T minus 2. So M L square T minus 2 means the A matches with 4. A matches with 4th. Okay. Now next is magnetic field B. Okay, we know that force F is equals to what? QVB. This formula we all know. So from this, B is equals to F over Q into V. Okay, and force is MLT minus 2 and Q is charge. So for charge, we can write current into time. Q is equals to IT na, and current is A and time is T. So in place of Q, we can write A into T. Okay, and V is the velocity. For velocity, we can write LT minus 1. Okay, so solving it, we can write M1. Okay, this LL cancels and this will become T1 and minus 0. So it will become T minus 2 and A minus 1. So for B, magnetic field M1 T minus 2 A minus 1. So B matches with third. B matches with third. Okay, and then magnetic moment. Okay, so we know the formula of magnetic field B is equals to mu naught over 4 pi I dl sine theta over r square. This formula we all know. Okay. So in this, sine theta is a constant term, 4 pi is a constant term. So this magnetic moment mu can be written as B into r square over I dl. Okay. So for magnetic field, we can write this M1 T minus 2 A minus 1, M1 T minus 2 A minus 1, R square means L square over IDL. I is current. So for current, we can write ampere A and DL. DL is the length. So for length, we can write L. Okay. So solving it, we can write M1 T minus 2, L2 minus 1, and A minus 1 minus 1. So again simplifying it, we can write M1 T minus 2, L1 A minus 2. So this mu magnetic moment matches with M1 L1 T minus 2 A minus 2. So C matches with this one, not second, it will be 1. Okay. So C matches with 1. And permeability of free space. So obviously this matches with L square A1. Okay. So from these, D matches with second na. Okay. So A matches with 4, B matches with third, C matches with 1, and D matches with second. A matches with 4, B for third, C for 1. This will be 1 and this will be second. A matches with fourth. 8 matches for. So I think B is the correct answer. But in this, if they have written this second, so it will be 1. Okay. So in this case, the B is the correct answer. Okay. Now, next question 42. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, in an LCR series circuit, current is maximum at resonance. And statement 2 is current in a purely resistive circuit can never be less than that in a series LCR circuit when connected to same voltage source. Okay, so in the light of our statement, choose the correct from the options given below. Okay, so it is saying that in an LCR series circuit, current is maximum at resonance. Okay, so current at resonance, statement 1 is current will be V over under root of R square plus XL minus XC square at resonance. Okay, so at resonance means XL is equals to XC in an LCR series circuit. So current will be equals to this V over R. Okay, so since the impedance is minimum, therefore the current is maximum at the resonance. Okay, so the statement is the current is maximum at resonance is the correct statement, means statement 1 is correct. Okay, now, statement 2 says that current in a purely resistive circuit can never be less than that in a series LCR circuit when connected to same voltage source. Okay, so we know that for a purely resistive circuit, the current is equals to V over R. Okay, so this statement is also true. That is for a purely resistive circuit, current can never be less than that in a series LCR circuit when connected to same voltage source. Okay, so from this point of view, statement 1 is also correct and statement 2 is also correct. For this, so option C, that is both statement 1 and 2 are true, is the correct answer. Okay. Now next question 43. The correct truth table for the following logic circuit is, okay, so this question is from the chapter of electronic devices. We have to find the correct truth table, okay, for this logic circuit. Okay, so this is A and B. So we know that this gate is AND gate, okay, and this is a NOT gate, and this is an OR gate, okay. So we will find the output Y, okay. So for output Y, if this is AND gate, so A, B, let us say if we put A 0 and B equals to 0. Okay, so if A is 0 and B is 0, so here let us say this is X, so X will become 0 dot 0 0. Okay, and if A is 0 and this is NOT gate, so it will become 1. So here we'll get 1 and 0, and this is OR gate, so for OR gate we get Y. 1 0 means we get 1. So for A 0 and B 0 we get Y output as 1. Okay, now let us say we have put A equals to 0 and B equals to 1. So for this, X will become 0 and 1. X will become 0 since it is a NAND gate, na? And if this is 0, so here it is 1. So 1 0 again Y will be 1. Okay, and if we put A equals to 1 and B equals to 0, then X will become, if this is 1, this is 0, X will become again 0. And in that case, if A is 1, here, if A is 1, so this is NOT gate, so it will become 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0, so it is OR gate, so Y will become 0. Okay. And if we put A equals to 1 and B equals to 1, then X will become 1. Okay, since X is a NAND gate, na, X will become 1. So if here it is 1, so it will be 0 0 1 again 1. So Y will become 1. So we get the truth table like this: A, B, Y. If A is 0, B is 0, Y is 1. A is 0, B is 1, Y is 1. A is 1, B is 0, Y is 0. A1, B1, Y 1. So this is our truth table. So from this option 0 1 0 1, this is not 1 1 0 1 0. So option B is the correct answer. Okay, now next question 44. A sample contains mixture of helium and oxygen gas. The ratio of root mean square speed of helium and oxygen in the sample is, okay. So this question is kinetic theory of gases. Kinetic theory of gases, okay. So root mean square speed. We know the formula for root mean square velocity is equals to under root 3 RT over M. Okay, where M is the molecular weight. So for helium and oxygen. So for oxygen we can write this 3 is constant and R is constant, T is constant. So it basically depends on under root of 1 over M. Okay, so for oxygen we can write under root of molecular mass of oxygen. molecular weight of oxygen, and for helium we can write under root of molecular weight of helium. Okay, so it will become under root of 4 and under root of 32. So it will become 1 over 2 root 2. Okay, so we have to find helium over oxygen na. So VHE over V oxygen will be equals to 2 root 2 over 1. This is our answer. Means option B is the correct answer. Now next question 45. A light string passing over a smooth light pulley connects two block of masses M1 and M2 where M2 is greater than M1. If the acceleration of the system is Z by root 2, then the ratio of masses M1 over M2 is okay. So this question is from the pulley system. Okay. So let us try to understand this question as, let us say this is a pulley. Okay. Okay. So this is mass. Let us say this is M1 and this is M2. Okay. And a light string passing over a smooth light pulley connects two blocks of masses M1 and M2 where M2 is heavier than M1. If the acceleration of the system, okay, if M2 is heavier than M1, so acceleration A is in this direction and acceleration A is in this direction. Okay, so this the acceleration for this combination will become, if M2 is heavier than M1, so M2 minus M1 over M1 plus M2 into gravity G. Okay. So acceleration is given as G by root 2. So G by root 2 will be equals to M2 minus M1 over M1 plus M2 into G. Okay. So G cancels out each other. So we get M1 plus M2 will be equals to under root of 2 M2 minus under root of 2 M1. Okay. So solving it, we get M1 plus root 2 M1 equals to root 2 M2 minus M2. Okay. So we get M1 1 plus root 2 equals to M2 root 2 minus 1. So from this we can write M1 over M2 will be equals to root 2 minus 1 over root 2 plus 1. Okay, this is the final answer. So root 2 minus 1 over root 2 plus 1 means option A is the correct answer. Now 46. Four particles A, B, C, D of masses m by 2, m, 2m and 4m have same momentum. Okay. The particle with maximum kinetic energy is okay. So students, since they are having same momentum, so we know that the kinetic energy is given by p square by 2m. Okay, so momentum is same means less mass means more kinetic energy. So the less mass is m by 2, so it will have maximum kinetic energy means particle A is having maximum kinetic energy, option C. Now next question 47. A train is starting from rest, first accelerates uniformly up to a speed of 80 km per hour for time t, then it moves with a constant speed for time 3t. The average speed of the train for this duration of journey will be in terms of kilometer per hour. Okay, so this question is from the chapter of kinematics. Kinematics, okay. So we have to find the average speed of the train. Na? We know that average speed is equals to total distance over time taken. Total distance over time taken. So total distance is what? It is move accelerate uniformly with a speed of 80 kilometer per hour for time t. So it means its distance will be 80 into t by 2, and then it moves with a constant speed of 3t. So it will become 80 into 3t. Okay. And over total time, the first time is t and the second time is 3t, means total time is 4t. So just solve it and we'll get our answer. So solving it and taking this LCM, we get 80t plus 2 into 80 into 3t over this will become 8t. So solving it, we get 80t plus 3 to the 6, 480t over 80. Okay, and this will become 560t over 80. T cancel. 8 sevens are 56, means 70 kilometer per hour. Okay, this is the final answer. Option B is the correct option. Okay, now next question 48. An element delta L is equals to delta X iota cap is placed at the origin, okay, and carries a large current I equals to 10 ampere. The magnetic field on the y-axis at a distance of 0.5 meter from the element delta X of 1 centimeter length is, okay. So this question is from the chapter of magnetic effects of current and magnetism. Magnetic effects of current and magnetism, okay. Magnetism. So now we are given element delta L equals to delta X iota cap placed at the origin and carries a current I equals to 10 ampere. Okay. The magnetic field on the y-axis at a distance of 0.5 meter from the element delta X is 1 centimeter in length. Okay. Is. So we know that the magnetic field dB is equals to mu naught over 4 pi into I into dl cross r over r cube. We know this formula, okay? So it is in terms of Tesla. So now mu naught over 4 pi means 10 to the power minus 7 into current. Current is given as 10 ampere, okay, into dl cross r over r cube. dl cross r means uh 0.5 meter. Distance is given as 0.5 meter and r in terms of 1 centimeter. So it will be equals to 0.5 means 1 by 2 into 1 centimeter means 1 over 100. Okay. And over r cube. R cube means 1 by 2 whole cube. And since we are given that element is in terms of iota cap and the uh, element is in this direction, x direction, and the magnetic field on the y-axis at a current of 0.5 meter on the element is, okay, and this current element is in the uh at a distance of 0.5 meter in y-axis na, since let us say this is j cap, so this is in iota cap and this is in j cap. So for this I cross j means dl cross r na, dl cross r, I cross j will be equals to k cap, means the magnetic field is in the direction of k cap. Okay, so just solve it and we'll get our final result. So solving it, we get this 10 to the power minus 7 and this is 10 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 100 means this will become 1 over 10. This is k cap over 1 by 2 cube na, so this will remain 1 by 2 square and this 1 by 2 cancels this. So solving it, we get magnetic field is this 1 by 2 means 1 by 4. This will go in the numerator. We get 4 into 10 to the power. This will become minus 8. K cap. 4 into 10 to the power minus 8 Tesla means option A is the correct answer. Now next question 49. A small ball of mass m and density rho is dropped in a viscous liquid of density rho naught. After some time the ball falls with constant velocity. The viscous force on the ball is, okay. So this question is from the chapter of properties of solids and liquid. Okay. So now we have to find the viscous force on the ball. So we can solve it as Let us say this is a viscous liquid and this is a small ball whose mass is given as m and density is given as rho. It is dropped on this liquid and this liquid is density is rho naught. After some time the ball falls with constant velocity v. Okay, since though it is falling, it is dropped now, so it will be mg minus fb minus of fv will be equals to ma. Okay, so since a is will be 0 for this, since it is moving with a constant velocity, so we know that acceleration equals to del v over del t. Since v is constant, so for this a will be equals to 0. Since a is 0, so this part will become 0. So for this mg minus fb bind force will be equals to fv. Bind force will act in upward direction. If mg is acting in downward direction, so buoyancy force will be acting upward direction. It will be equals to fv. So fv, okay, means viscous force will be equals to this mg minus, now this force we can write it as v into this rho naught into g. So it will be equals to mg minus, in terms of v we can write m over rho, mass over density, into rho naught into g. So simplifying it, taking mg common, we get 1 minus rho naught over rho. So viscous force will be mg 1 minus rho naught over rho. Means option D, mg1 minus rho naught over rho is the correct answer. Now, next question. In photoelectric experiment, energy of 2.48 electron volt irradiates a photosensitive material. The stopping potential was measured to be zero point 0.5 volt. The work function of the photosensitive material is, okay. So this question is from the chapter of dual nature of matter and radiation. Dual nature of matter and radiation. Okay, so it is asking about the photoelectric effect. So what happens in a photoelectric effect? Let us say this is surface of a metal. Whenever a radiation of a sufficient frequency having wavelength lambda falls on the surface of the metal, so if the frequency of the incident photon is greater than a term called mu naught is called the threshold frequency, so the electrons are ejected from the surface of the metal, and these ejecting electrons are called photoelectrons. Okay, for such photoelectric effect, the equation is given as ev naught is equals to h mu minus phi, where phi is the work function and this mu naught is called the stopping potential. Okay, so in this question the stopping potential is given as 0.5 volt and we have to find this work function phi, and in experiment energy is given as 2.48. So this h nu is basically what energy na, so it is given as 2.48 and the stopping potential is given as 0.5 volt minus work function phi. So phi work function will be equals to 2.48 volt minus this 0.5 volt. So it will become 1.98 electron volt. Okay. So option D is the correct answer. Now, the next question is 51. If the radius of Earth is reduced to 3/4 of its present value without change in its mass, then the value of duration of the day of Earth will be in dash. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of rotational motion. Okay. So it is saying that if the radius of the Earth is reduced to 3/4 of its present value, let us say this is the radius of the Earth r, if it is reduced to 3/4 of its present value, okay, without change in its mass, then the value of the duration of the day. So here we will use the law of conservation of momentum, law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so I1 omega 1 will be equals to I2 omega 2. And since it is Earth, so means kind of a sphere it is. So for a sphere, the moment of inertia is 2 by 5 mr square. So 2 by 5 mr square into omega. We know that omega equals to 2 pi f, and frequency is inverse of time. So in place of f, we can write 1 over t. So omega 1 is 2 pi over t1. It will be equals to, again, it is a sphere. So 2 by 5 m, and r is 3 by 4 of r now. 3 by 4 r whole square into 2 pi over t2. Okay. So it will become 2 by 5, 2 by 5 cancels out. M cancels out. R square cancels out. So it will become, and 2 pi cancels out. So it will become 1 over T1. And 3 by 4 whole square means 9 over 16 into 1 over T2. We have to find T2 when T1 is, if the radius of the Earth is reduced to 3/4 of its present value without change in its mass, then the value of duration of the day of Earth. Okay, duration of day of the Earth means T1. We will take T1 as 24 hour. Okay, so here T2 will become uh T2 will become 9 over 16 into T1, and T1 is 24, so 9 over 16 into 24. So solving it, 2 8 is 16, 2 12 24, 2 4 is 8, 2 6 is 12, 2 2 is 4, 2 3 is 6. So it will be 9 say 27 by 2. T2 will be 27 by 2. R means it will be uh 13 hour and 30 minutes. Okay. So our answer is 13 hour and 30 minutes. 13 hour and 30 minutes. Now next question 52. Three infinitely long charged thin sheets are placed as shown in figure. The magnitude of electric field at the point P is x sigma over E naught. The value of x is, okay, so this question is from the chapter of electrostatics. Okay, so first of all, we know that the electric field for any infinitely long charge thin sheet is given as E equals to sigma over 2 epsilon naught. This is the formula for finding the electric field due to a infinitely long charge thin sheet. Okay, and since we have to find at point P, okay, so the first sheet is having a charge density of minus sigma, second having minus 2 sigma, and the third one is sigma. Okay, so at point P, it will be equals to, due to the first sheet, it will be sigma over 2 epsilon naught. Okay, since it is minus sigma na, so for such type of question we always assume that for any point, wherever the question is asked to find the electric field, we assume that we have considered a unit positive charge. Okay, so if it is negative, so it will attract it towards it na, so towards it mean we will take it as positive. Okay, and for minus 2 sigma, it will also attract towards it, so it will be again positive, so plus 2 sigma over 2 epsilon naught. Okay, and since it is plus sigma and it is plus q, so um it will repel in it this direction. It will attract these minus sigma and minus 2 sigma towards it, and it will repel this sigma in this direction. Okay, so it will be a plus of sigma over 2 epsilon naught. Okay, so this will become sigma over 2 epsilon naught plus 2 sigma 2 epsilon sigmas 2 3 4 4 sigma over 2 epsilon naught. So it will be 2 sigma over epsilon naught. Okay, so the value of x is 2. 2 sigma or epsilon naught means the value of x is 2. Okay, now next question 53. A big drop is formed by coalescing thousands small droplets of water. The ratio of surface energy of 1,000 droplets to that of energy of big drop is 10 over x. So we have to find the value of x. Student, this question is from the chapter of properties of solids and liquid, and this question has been asked so many times in this previous year JEE questions itself. Okay, in the series of 2023 also, in many papers many JEE papers, this question has been repeatedly asked. So in the future also, it is a probability that this such type of question will be asked. Okay. So big drop is formed by coalescing thousand small drops. Okay. Means, let us say these thousand droplets, or we can say drops, they are making a big drop. Okay, so for this we will use the formula for the volume of its. We know that a droplet or a drop is in the form of a sphere, and the volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So for this we can write 1000 4 by 3 pi. Let us say their radius is small r. So pi r cube will be equals to 4 by 3 pi. Let us say the radius of big drop is capital R. So pi r cube. Okay. So solving it, 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi cancels. So 1000 r cube will be equals to capital R cube. So from here we can write 10 r equals to capital R. So r will be equals to 10 r. Let us say this is equation number 1. And in the question, we are asked to find the ratio of surface energy of 1000 droplets to big drop. The ratio of surface energy means surface energy of 1000 droplets over one big drop. Energy of big drop, let us say big drop. So it will be equal to surface energy is 1000 into surface energy is area into tension. So 4 pi r square into surface tension T over 4 pi capital R square into surface tension T. So this T cancels out, 4 pi cancels out. So it will be 1000 into R square over R square. R is 10R. So 10 R square means 100 R square. So this R square cancels. So this will be 10, means the ratio is 10:1. Okay. Okay. Comparing it with that given in the question. So 10 over 1 equals to 10 over x, means the value of x is 1 here. Now next question 54. When a DC voltage of 1100 volt is applied to an inductor, DC current of 5 ampere flows through it. When an AC voltage of 200 volt peak value is connected to inductor, its inductive reactance, it's found to be 20 root 3 ohm. The power dissipated in the circuit is, okay. So this question is from the chapter of alternating current. Alternating current, okay. Now, in this question, we are given that DC voltage of 1100 volt is applied to an inductor, okay, and a DC current of 5 ampere flows through it. So, for a DC voltage, since V equals to IR, so R will be equals to V over I. So, V is what here? 200 volt. V is given as 200 volt, and current is given as 5 ampere. So 200 over 5. So it will be 20 ohm. Okay. And for AC voltage, this XL inductive reactance will be equals to 20 root 3 as given in the question. And R is 20 ohm. Okay. So Z will be equals to under root of XL square plus R square. So XL is 20 root 3 square means 400 into 3 plus R square means 400. So solving it, we get 40 ohm. Z is 40 ohm. Okay. So power dissipated will be P equals to I square into R. So I square RMS will be V RMS over Z whole square into R. So VRMS is VRMS will be this 200 volt na. So VRMS will be 200 over root 2. Okay. So 200 over root 2 and Z is 40. This whole square into R. R is 20. So just simplify it and we'll get our answer. This will be 40000 over 2 over 1600 into 20. So solving it, we get 0, 0, this 0, 0, 2 which is 16. So it will be 8 5s are 40, 0, 0. It will be 250. 250 watt. Okay. So the answer is 250 watt. Now next question 55. The refractive index of prism is mu equals to root 3 and the ratio of the angle of minimum deviation to the angle of prism is 1. The value of angle of prism is okay. So this question is from the chapter of optics itself. Now let us try to understand it. Like suppose this is a prism, okay? And this is like this. Okay, this is I angle, this is R1, this is R2, and this is E. Let us say this is A. And given mu is 3, refractive index of the prism is given as root 3, okay? So from this, we have to find the ratio of the angle of minimum deviation to the angle of prism is given as 1 na. So for minimum angle of deviation, del minimum angle I is equals to E. We know that. So for this, R1 will be equals to R2 equals to A by 2. Okay. So del minimum over A given as 1 as in the question. So del minimum means 2I minus A over A given as 1. So it will become 2I will be equals to, this will go here to A plus A means 2A. 2I will be equals to 2A. From here, I will be equals to A. Okay, let us say this is equation number 1. Now, we know that from Snell's law, uh, 1 into sine I will be equals to mu into sine R. Okay, as for this condition. So sine I will be equals to mu and sine R is sine A by 2 for this prism question. These are the basic formulas now we all know from the theory part. So sine A will be equals to, since I equals to A, that's why I have written sine A in place of sine I, okay? Mu sine A by 2, okay? So for this, we can write sine A. So we can write it as 2 sine A by 2 cos A by 2, since we know the formula na, sine 2 theta equals to 2 sine theta cos theta. So for using this formula, sine A in terms in place of sine A, I have written 2 sine A by 2 cos A by 2 equals to mu. Mu is given as root 3. So write root 3 sine A by 2. Sine A by 2. So solving it, we get sine A by 2, sine A by 2 cancels. So we get cos A by 2 is equals to root 3 by 2, means A by 2 is equals to cos inverse root 3 by 2, and we know that cos 3 by 2 is what, 30 degree. So A by 2 is equals to 30 degree. So A will be equals to 60 degree, means the angle of prism is 60 degree. Okay. Now, next question is 56. A wire of resistance R and radius R is stressed till its radius becomes R by 2. If the new resistance of this stressed wire is X, the value of X is okay. So this question is from the chapter of current electricity. Current electricity. Now, given that resistance is capital R and small r is the radius, and it is stressed till radius become R by 2. Okay. So we have asked to find the new resistance of the stressed wire is X. Okay. We know that R is equals to rho L by A. Okay. So this resistance R is directly proportional to L over A. A means pi R square means R square. R is the small r is the radius na. So as we stretch the wire, its length will increase, but its radius will decrease, keeping the volume constant. Okay. So V initial will be equals to V final. So V is area into length, means pi r square into L will be equals to pi r. Radius become R by 2 na. So R square by 4 into L. Okay. let us say this is final length, because length is increasing but the radius will decreasing na. So LF will be equals to this pi cancels, r square cancels. The final length will be equals to 4 into L. Okay, so R new over R old will be equals to L over R square na. So it will be 4L over R square, means R by 2 whole square, means R square by 4 over R old. R old is R square over L. Sorry, L over R square. L over R square. Okay. So just solve it. This LL cancels. This R square cancels. Okay. So we get R new over R old is equals to this 4. This is 4 square na. No, it is 4 only. Okay. So this will go here. So it will become 4, 16. So it will be 16. So R new is equals to 16 into R old. R old is R. So R new is 16R. So comparing it with that given in the question, if the new resistance of the stretch wire is X, new resistance is X, X equals to 16R. So the value of X is 16. Okay, now next question 57. Radius of a certain orbit of hydrogen atom is 8.48 angstrom. If energy of the electron in this orbit is E by X, so we have to find the value of this X. So this question is from the chapter of modern physics. Modern physics, okay. Okay, so we have to find the value of X and we are given radius 8.48. So using the formula for the radius, we know that R is equals to 0.529 n square over Z. This is the direct formula. So R is given as 8.48. It will be equals to 0.529 n square. N square over Z, since it is for hydrogen atom, so in place of Z we write Z equals to 1. So solving it we get N square equals to 8.48 over 0.529. So it will be equals to 16. So N will be equals to 4. Okay. So now if energy of the electron in the orbit is E by X, we know that energy is equals to minus 13.6 over n square, means energy is directly proportional to 1 over n square. Okay, so energy for nth will be equals to 1 over n is 4 square. So E nth will be equals to 1 over 16. Comparing it with that given in the question, E by X. So the value of X is 16 here. Okay, value of X is 16. Now next question. A circular coil having 200 turns, 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square area and carrying 100 microampere current is placed in a uniform magnetic field of 1 Tesla. Initially, the magnetic dipole moment M was directed along B. Amount of work required to rotate the coil 90 degree from the initial orientation such that M becomes perpendicular to B. Okay, is okay. So in this question, it is given that let us say this is a circular coil and it is having 200 number of turns, okay? And area is this, carrying current I equals to 100 microampere. It is placed in a uniform magnetic field of 1 Tesla. Initially, the magnetic moment M is along the direction of B. Let us say M is in this direction and magnetic field also in this direction and current is flowing in this direction. This is initial one, okay? Amount of work required to rotate the coil 90 degree. Now the coil is rotate 90 degree. Initially it is like this. Now the coil is rotate 90 degree such that orientation of M becomes perpendicular to B. Now suppose the B is in this direction. So M is in this direction. Okay. This is final one. So we have to find the amount of work. So we know that work is equals to delta U plus change in the kinetic energy. Okay. And we know that potential energy is equals to minus of m dot b. Okay. So put in terms of delta U, we can write minus of m dot b plus acha magnetic field will be initially or finally both na. So minus m dot bf plus m dot bi plus change in kinetic energy will be 0. Okay. So it will be equals to minus MB cos of 90 degree plus MB cos 0. We have written here minus because of this formula minus of M dot B, and we have written 90 degree because according to question it is changing by 90 degree, and initially the both are in same direction, so we have taken theta as cos 0. Okay, so it will be MB only, so work will be equals to, let us say, NIAB. Okay, in place of M we have written current into this area, na, magnetic moment, so work will be equals to NIAB. So N number of turns are given as 200 turns, area is this, current is this, so just put the value. N is 200, current is 100 microampere, means 100 into 10 to the power minus 6. Area is given as 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 4. 2.5 means 5 by 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 into B, magnetic field. Magnetic field is 1 Tesla. So B is 1. So just solve it. We will get our work done. It will be 200 times. So this will be 10 to the power 2 plus 2 minus 6 minus 4 into 5. So work done will be equals to 5 into 2 to 4 plus 4 minus 4 cancels out, minus 6. So it will be 5 microjoule. Okay. So 5 microjoule is the final answer. Okay. 5 microjoule. Now next question 59. A particle is doing simple harmonic motion of amplitude 0.06 meter and time period 3.14 second. The maximum velocity of the particle is. Okay. So this question is from the chapter of oscillations and waves. And we have to find the velocity in terms of centimeter per second. So we know that V maximum is equals to omega into A. Okay. This is at mean position. Now omega is what? 2 pi into F, and frequency is inverse of temperature. So in place of omega, we can write 2 pi T. So 2 pi over T into A. So it will be 2 pi, and time period is given as 3.14, means pi itself into A, area. Area is a particle is doing some of amplitude. Sorry, not area, amplitude. 0.06. 0.06. So pi cancels out. So it will be 0.12 meter per second, and we have to convert it into centimeter per second. So V maximum will be equals to meter per second, means into 100. So it will be 12 centimeter per second. This is the answer. Okay. 12 centimeter per second. Now next question 60. Three vectors A this, B is this, and C is this. If A dot B cross C equals to 0, we have to find the value of X, this X. Okay. So this is from the chapter of kinematics. Okay. A is given as minus of X iota cap, minus of 6J cap, minus of 2K cap. B is given as minus of iota cap plus of 4J cap plus of 3K cap, and C is given as minus of 8 iota cap minus of J cap plus of 3K cap. Okay. A dot B cross C. So first of all find B cross C. B cross C means let I J K minus of 1 4 3 minus of 8 minus of 1 3. So solving it we get iota 4 3s are 12 minus of 3, this will be plus 3, plus of j 24 minus plus 3 plus of k, this will be 1 minus plus 8 24 32, so it will be 15 iota cap, uh 15 iota cap minus of 21 j cap plus 33 k cap. Okay, then a dot b cross c, a dot b cross c. So A is minus of x iota cap minus of 6j cap minus of 2k cap, dot product 15 iota cap minus 21 j cap plus 33 k cap. Okay, so we'll get this A dot B cross C, and it will be 0. So 0 is equals to minus of 15 minus plus of 21 into 6, 126, plus minus 33 into 2, 66. This is x. So it will be 15x will be equals to 0. This is 6. So x will be equals to 60 over 15. So x will be equals to 4. This is the final answer. So the value of x is 4. Okay.